What's up, boys? I am finally back, and if you check that out, it has been 239 days since I last logged into this account. And let's see where we left off. So, a bunch of the uncut emeralds never sold, so I'm going to take a little bit of loss on those, and I'm just going to dump them, hopefully for the same price or a little bit below. And then, as a joke, I just put in an offer for an absolute mammoth amount of bronze armor. So not all of it bought, which is probably for the better, but I bought it for really low. So let's see what we can do with that. Alright, boys, and we log in today with a good message in the chat. All the uncuts sold. I bought some of this for this price and some of them for 1K, so I might have lost a little bit of money. And we're going to abort these bronze armor offers. As cool as it would have been to have 800K bronze two-handers and 200K med helms, I thought while I was away in Ecuador for 8 months, they would all come through. That wasn't the case, but the good news is we'll be able to flip these for a lot. And then even if I lost 50 GP on all 10K of these, it would be about a 500K loss if I'm doing that math correctly. But in the end, we still are up a lot because we have 23 mil. And let's just have a look at what these might sell for. So hopefully we'll be around 23.5 mil. But I'm just going to try to get rid of these and we'll see what that leaves us left to flip. So actively traded price 200. Alright, well let's just see what they go for mid. A couple of them sold. They should all sell at that price. And the helm, actively traded price 30. So let's go 30. Why not? We bought them for fairly cheap. So for the bronze Luxor, we're looking at 200K, or sorry, the bronze 200, and 135K. I might even bring those down a bit, actually. Let's go with 28. They're kind of a useless item. 20. Oh, jeez. 28. Okay, yeah, and some of them are selling instantly, so those should sell eventually. Okay, so while these seem to be selling pretty consistently, it's definitely going to take a while to sell this many of an item that's so underused or never used, really. But I will wait them out and make a small profit off them. But while we wait for that, I have one empty slot left and 23.1 mil to spend. And last video I realized is kind of lame, just showing you, hey, look, I bought this, I sold this, I bought this, I sold this, I made this much profit, but I don't really explain to you how I do it. So today I'll be showing you the process I go through, and also if you go back through my old videos, I have a couple of flipping and merchanting guides, which I would highly recommend checking those out if you're going to try this yourself. This will just be a very brief explanation. So since I have a lot of money, and only one slot left, I really should get members even if I only buy free-to-play items so that I can use all 8 slots. But since I only have one slot left, I'm going to be going for something a bit expensive. So my idea here was to look up rune ore and rune bars on the Grand Exchange. So if you don't know, this is available on the RuneScape website, or just type in osrs Grand Exchange into Google and it should be the first one, and you can check out all the stats of these items and their prices. So the current price guide is about 12.12K for a Runite bar, and I noticed here there was a huge crash. So this can be a good thing or a bad thing when you're buying. If we look at the 6 months in the long term, this is by far the lowest it has ever been. And obviously that then is going to correlate with the runite ore. So let's look at the long term. Yep, it's about the same. And then another thing I like to look at is the amount traded. So if we look here, it gives you the amount, 200K, 400K. So about every day you're looking at between 400 and 800K being traded, and all of a sudden the last February 9th and 10th, we get up to 1.6 mil. So why were they dumped so heavy? So I always watch the Q&As, and I think this might be because of a talk about buffing the rune golem for more ores, but I really don't think that will have a big effect overall on the price of runite bars. So I'm going to invest in runite bar and runite ores. Now I'm not sure what their buy limit is, but I do have a note. I do have a notepad with a bunch of the buy limits, so just give me a minute and I'll pull that up. Okay, so here is a little chart I created with some of the good items for flipping in free-to-play and their buy limits per 4 hours. So if we look at ors, Addy, and rune, 4.5k, and rune bar is currently unknown. So it'd be good to buy some of these to try to figure out the limit, but we don't want to waste our putting that much money into it if you can only buy 10 every 4 hours. But the thing with rune bars and ors is that people use them for skilling, and they usually buy high quantities. So if these are 10k, I imagine that these must be 5k or maybe a little less, 2k. But at the price, that should be a lot. So if we look at, we have 4,500 you can buy every 4 hours, and let's pull up the cost of them. 10.8k, and I have a calculator here. That means that's 48 mil. 48 mil worth of rune ore you can buy every 4 hours. So way more than I need, and I think I'm going to choose one or the other. And it looks to me like if we go back here, we see the price difference. I should buy them on the down, maybe 10.5k, and I could sell them for around 11. Or we have here maybe 12k I could buy them for and sell them for 13. So rune bar looks to have a little bit of a bigger profit margin, and they're not that much more expensive. So that is what I'm going to do. We will invest all of the money actually into rune ores. Now it says they're selling for 12.215. Now you won't have this if you don't have OS Buddy, the actively traded price, but this is the mid price, so just under. So let's see, we can buy just less than 2k worth of them, so I would say about 1,950. And let's set our price first. I want to buy them at 12.1k, so hopefully they'll come through, and we need a little bit less than that. We'll go about 1,900, I would say. Plus 10. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. So one more would be over. Yes. So there we go. And those should buy. I think that's below the limit. So we'll see if any come in right away. Not quite. I'll keep an eye on them, and I might buff or increase my buy price a little bit if none of them are coming in at all, and we'll see how that goes. Just went ahead and upped the price by about 100 or exactly 100 GP each, because I was worried that they weren't going to be coming in, and that soon, because they're just below the med, they're going to be going back up in price on the Grand Exchange. See, some of them came in. Oh, they're coming in quite fast with no cash back, which is good. So hopefully they're going to make that turnaround very soon. Might have bought them for a little bit too much, but I'm just going to stick with it, and we'll see how much we can sell them for. Okay, see you guys in a bit. So they finished buying quite fast. That only maybe took 2 minutes, so that does have me a little bit nervous, but I think we should be fine, because what I'm banking on is overall they're going to go back up. So I bought them for 12.2. I think a 500 GP profit would be quite nice, so let's try 12.7. I'll throw them in for, and that would be about a 700k profit if I'm correct, or actually closer to 800k. So we'll see if those sell over the next couple days. If not, I might drop the price, but we'll be back in a bit. So it's been a couple days since I logged in, and we'll see that both the bronze two-handers and the bronze mad helms have sold. The runite bars haven't sold yet, but if you check the charts, they are shooting back up. So around here is the price I have them for. So I think in 1 or 2 more days they should start to sell. Otherwise, just to make it go faster, like there's a lot of money in them, 24 mil, I'll bring down the price a little bit. But with this 350k, let's see the profits we made on these. 200k from 45, so 150k there and 60k there. So pretty good, just for buying very low and selling high. But with this money, I looked up two other things. Death Rune, which seems to be crashing quite a bit now, but if we look at the long term, the 6-month chart, it's pretty low, so it might continue going down for a while, but it looks like it's gonna even out, so I'll try to buy them for under. We'll see what they're selling for, maybe 215. And then green dehyde van bases as well are crashing hard. And again, why would you buy an item that's crashing? Because buy low, sell high. You should never buy when it's going up like this. You buy here, look, one day later, it's crashing. You buy here, buy them when they're lower, so you're buying somewhere down here, maybe 1.3K on the dot, and then you sell them when they're on the rise. And if you scroll down even further, you can see the amount traded, between 10 and 40K traded every day. And for death runes, it's probably in the millions. Yeah. Up to 60 mil traded every day. So they're obviously in high demand. So those are the two items I'll be merching with this 350K. And I'll probably split it up pretty evenly. So let's see, green dehyde fan braces. So it says they're actively traded above the mid price. So let's see, 125 seems like a good amount to buy, and I'm gonna put them in 2 below med, and we'll see if any come in the next couple minutes. If not, I'll put them in at med middle price and see if any come in, and then if not, I'll go a little bit above. But sometimes you can't always trust the G price or the OS Buddy price guide, because it gives you the price it was most recently traded for, so that might not always be accurate. And then Death Rune, it says they're being traded at med price. I think if I can get them for 215, let's look at the chart again. 215 will be way down here. I think surely they'll turn around before then, so that'll be great. And we're probably looking at 800. Oh, super good. No, too much. 850, 840, and let's examine these. 179.03. Alrighty, so we'll see. And these are already coming in slowly at 1310, so 200 med. So don't always buy right away. So that's good. I'll leave those, and hopefully in the next couple days, these runite bars will sell. Otherwise, I'll bring them down, and that'll be a huge profit. It will be sitting at around 24.5 mil cash stack, and we'll make some big moves with that. Cool. See you guys in a bit. So about 2 hours later, both things finished buying, and then we'll just put them in and sell them. So they actively traded price about 1400. It's probably going up. This might be a risk, but I'll check on them tomorrow morning, because I'm about to go to bed. And these actively traded, I think that maybe overnight we can get a couple extra GP on that. It's the next morning, and both things sold, but the death runes actually sold almost instantly right after I stopped recording, so I figured might as well get another little flip in. And the dehyde sold as well for about 30K. The rune bars haven't sold yet, but they are still going up, so I'm going to leave them in there because that's going to be a big 900K flip. So we'll just put these in there for med price, make a couple K. Oh, and they instantly sold. So we'll let those finish selling. Boom. We'll check the profits, and we'll invest this in something else. So you see we did the runes twice, only about a 6K flip, and then here again a 4K flip, just a little bit overnight, and then here a 30K flip. So with this 380K, I think we're going to invest in one thing. I'm not sure what it is yet, but hopefully we can get a little bit bigger profit. So I'm going to check the charts, and we'll be right back. So I also just wanted to point something out about these super small flips that I made. Some of you might be thinking, what's the point of flipping these items for such a small profit? But it's actually important to notice how much was invested. So if we look at the green d'hide van braces, we invested 163K and came out with 193K. So that's a profit of 30K. If you look at our total investment of 160K, profiting 30K is about a 20% margin. Okay, so if you invested the same amount or a larger amount of money and made the same profit margin, it would be huge, right? So 20% of 10 mil would be 2 mil, right? Or even for the death runes, if we look here, we invested 178 to 184. It's what is that, 6K, a very small profit margin, maybe almost 5%, right? But even then, if you invested 10 mil, you're looking at a 500K flip, right? So these profit margins are actually very good. And if your entire bank is 163K, earning 30K is a huge amount. Of course, I wouldn't really recommend flipping if that's your entire bank, but the 20% is a huge number, and I think anywhere between 5 to 10% gains on your flips, like profit on your flips, is good. So this green d'hide flip is actually incredible, making a 20% profit. It just looks small because the investment was small. So you always have to remember that the more you invest, obviously the more you can earn, but also the more you can potentially lose. So it's good to be careful. All right, so I got the charts up here for coal, and if we look, it has been from 190 on a steady decrease all the way to 129. And if we look over the long term, in 3 months, it's as low as it's ever been. And in 6 months, I'm not aware of anything, probably drop tables that made this change, but that's on February 8th. So it should definitely be going back up. And we see a hint of that because it flatlined there. And we look at the amount traded, obviously it's going to be in the millions. This should be, let's see where February 8 is to see what made it crash. Oh, so nothing out of the ordinary. Anyways, so that's what I'm going to be investing in. So let's pull this back up. Let's check coal. Oh, there we go. Actively traded price slightly above med, but because it's such a highly traded item, I bet we can get it for the med price. So we'll put in an offer. Yeah, we can go 1K, 2, and let's see how much exactly we have. 182, oops, too much. 182K basically on the dot. Alrighty, so hopefully these will buy fairly quickly, and we'll be back when they do. Alright guys, so the coal never ended up buying, so I'm going to abort that offer, and the runite bars still haven't sold, so I'm actually going to abort that too and bring them down just a little bit. So what I did was I bought the runite bars for 12.2 each. Let's see if we can get rid of them for 12.4K each. And that's going to be about a 400K, so not quite as big as I expected, but it should be an okay investment. And then I am still going to buy coal. Here's the thing, we'll have a quick look at the charts again. So yesterday they were on the down crease. Now we see the past 2 days they've gone up. So I think they will continue to go up, but what I'm going to do is try to buy them at med and maybe sell them for around 150, just while we wait for the runite bars to sell. So this is med price. Yeah, they're actively traded around 148, but I'm certain they'll come in. So let's see, how many can we get here, and let's check how much coins we have. 182 on the dot almost. There we go. So hopefully these will come in slowly, and hopefully those will sell by the end of today, and we'll do these last 2 flips, and that will probably be it. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. It's been maybe 20 minutes, and the coal still isn't buying, so I'm actually going to put it a couple GP above metal price because it's definitely going to be going up quite a bit. So let's go coal, 1, 2, perfect. And there it is. The runite bars have finished selling. Now the thing is they sold for 2.4, but I knew I should have waited a little bit longer because they're selling at over. Just a little bit over, so I probably sold them perfect timing. And the coal never bought, but that's fine. That just means it's shooting up. So I'm going to pull that out, and or 23.5, sorry, and we'll see what we're sitting at. 23.8, almost 24 mil. We'll look how much the runite bars made. 23.5. 23, so a 400k flip there. And just because of all the explaining I did and looking at the charts, I think that's where I'm going to end this video today. So we're at 23.8 mil, almost 24. We are working our way up there, that's for sure. And as I said in a previous video, I think once we hit 100 mil, 10 mil to 100 mil f2p, 100 mil to 1 bill will be in pay to play, so that first of all we can have more GE spots open, and we can flip more valuable items, and I'll still do some free-to-play flips if you're following along. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can click the link that's popping up now to watch the previous one in the series if you haven't seen it yet, and if you want to continue watching, hit to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Cheers, and we'll see you next time.